Yo guys, what's going on? Today we are doing a mock draft on the Draft Network. The link to that will be in the description if you guys want to do a mock draft of your own. But this is the first one we're doing on the channel, and I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. Jaguars pick at number 1. We know that that's a lock. That's pretty much only lock, I think. I think the Jets could go down with a win. And Eagles can pick as high as 3 if they lose, and these 3 teams win. It's kind of like that. There's still a lot to go on. If the Eagles win, they could pick, I think, at 6 to 10, maybe even 10. So that's why I kind of really want to lose, because that's 4 draft picks that we're missing out on. But you know what? I think the Eagles, or the Jaguars, I think the first pick that they need to make is obviously going to be Trevor Lawrence. That's their franchise quarterback. You got to build around him. And in the second round, they'll go receiver, or tackle, or O-line. You need to protect him, but you also need to... I mean, you have a good running back now in James Robinson, so they have some offensive pieces. They may even go... They could even go Pat Freiermuth in the second round if he's available, and they get a good tight end, or even Brevin Jordan. They need a tight end on that offense. Josh Oliver hasn't been the guy, and Tyler Eifert's not getting any younger. So, but the Jets at number 2, I think... almost with certainty they got to go quarterback. Sam Darnold is not the guy. He hasn't proven to be the guy. He hasn't shown he could be the guy, even potentially. I think they trade him to the Steelers, something along those lines, and then they take a quarterback here. Now, Zach Wilson, or Justin Fields has been the consensus number 2 guy behind Trevor Lawrence all last year, and this year he's had some falls. He's not played the same way he's played last year, and he's starting to get criticized for it and fall down some draft boards, but there's still a lot of people who like Justin Fields. I just personally think Zach Wilson has played better this year, and I think the Jets will be better off with Zach Wilson. Zach Wilson has unreal potential, and he's shown nothing, basically no Zach Wilson has tons of potential, and he's shown no flaws this year, or not near. Zach Wilson has tons of potential, and he hasn't shown near as many flaws as Justin Fields has this year. Justin Fields is a good player. Sure, Zach Wilson's a good player. I just think Zach Wilson is better for the Jets at number 2 than Justin Fields right now. My opinion could change based on just combine stuff and all that, but I think right now I honestly do have Zach Wilson above Justin Fields in my draft board. And I know Dolphins desperately need a receiver, but they have another first-round pick, and I think they go receiver there. I think you cannot pass up on Penei Sewell. The generational O-tackle talent. He's going to come in and protect Tua on the left or the right side. Preferably probably the right, because he is a left-handed quarterback. You want to protect his blind side. But I just think he's an unmissable. I just think Penei Sewell is you can't miss him, like can't miss prospect. I think there's no way he doesn't succeed or at least do okay in the NFL. He's not going to be like an Eric Fisher or something like that. This dude is one of a kind tackle. He's unreal agility and great technique. He's still not even fully developed, and he's as good as he is. There's a lot of potential there. I think you can't miss on him, and he can play either tackle side. And now for the Falcons, they do need edge rusher really bad, but we're going to go with Justin Fields. He's from Georgia. He fits right in there. You can go behind Matt Ryan for a year because he does have some flaws. And if Matt Ryan decides to retire after next year, Justin Fields can come in the following year. I think that's a perfect situation for him. I think Justin Fields can sit behind him, and he can be the next big quarterback in Atlanta. The Bengals pick here, and I think it's fairly obvious what they need to do. You need to protect Joe Burrow. You never want to see your rookie number 1 overall pick quarterback go down with an ACL injury. I've been there before as an Eagles fan. It's just, that wasn't even really the protection's fault for the Eagles situation, though, but Joe Burrow just got absolutely bashed this year. It was bound to happen that he was injured at some point. You need to get a tackle to protect the outside for Joe Burrow and force rushers to come inside on stunts and stuff. Darrisaw is the clear pick here. They would love Penei Sewell, but they dropped themselves out of that with a win versus the Steelers. And now the Dolphins get Sewell for Tua, and they get Darrisaw. Not a bad player, just not Penei Sewell. With the Eagles on the clock now, I feel like I know the needs. There's linebackers available as the number one need here. I just don't feel like Micah Parsons necessarily fits what the Eagles are looking for. And in all honesty, I don't think Jamar Chase, Jalen Waddle, Devontae Smith is worth it at 6. I love Jamar Chase and I love Jalen Waddle. I don't as much like Devontae Smith. I feel like he's a product of recency bias because of these two being out for most of this year. Chase opted out and Waddle got hurt. And Devontae Smith has just made the most of his opportunity. Do I think he's better than these guys? No. So if the Eagles went with Devontae Smith at 6, I would be very, very, very mad. I think you got to go corner here. Surtain and Fairley are both similar players. I just think Surtain has more of upside and is more polished than Farley because he didn't play corner his entire life as like Surtain did. It's just Farley is newer to the position, and I get that could actually be a good thing. That means he has more room to grow, and he's already this good, and he's still growing. But I just think, I don't know if this logic's good, I just think Surtain is a lockdown corner. I think he'll be great in off-man and press. Not as great as zone, but Jim Schwartz likes to run man, so him and Slay both running man. There's receiver talent in the second round for the Eagles, like Amon-Ra St. Brown, Chris Olave, Terrence Marshall, Rashad Bateman. I love Elijah Moore. Keep your eye out on this guy. But corners, I think Surtain just makes the most sense for the Eagles there. And then for the Lions, Marvin Jones is an impending free agent. I believe Kenny Golladay is an impending free agent. Danny Amendola is an impending free agent. All they got is TJ Hawkinson. They desperately need a receiver, and it depends. Do they keep Stafford? Do they go Trey Lance here? Is Stafford the guy? There's a lot to think about when it comes to the Lions. They desperately need a linebacker. Jelani Tavai and Jared Davis have not worked out at all. Do you take Micah Parsons? He's kind of a hybrid linebacker. I think the Lions have to go for a playmaker on offense, and that is Jalen Waddle. I feel like Stafford has the arm to get Waddle the ball. You take advantage of that. You don't get Jamar Chase. You get Jalen Waddle. He's an electric receiver who can go up and get it and beat the defense consistently. I think Jalen Waddle is a perfect fit in Detroit. You get a slot receiver or an outside receiver with unreal speed that Stafford can throw the ball to. Stafford has Golladay and Jones. He never has really had a receiver that he can just launch it over the top to speed-wise. I feel like it's a perfect fit for his arm, and I'm excited to see that. For the Giants pick, you gotta go defense here, even though they do need receiver help. You gotta go defense? I feel like their edge rushing situation is not good. O'Shane Ximines and Lorenzo Carter don't consistently get to the quarterback, which I feel is a very big issue. Gregory Rousseau would make a lot of sense here. They get an edge rusher. But so would Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons is a versatile. He can play off the ball, and he can rush the passer. So he's kind of useful in the outside linebacker role. Or do you go Jamar Chase? There's a lot of options here. Their defense, besides in their secondary in the defense, is pretty good. And their front three on the D-line is good. They need linebackers, edge rushers, and that's about it on defense. But on offense, Sterling Shepard is always unhealthy. And then you got Golden Tate, who is probably heading out soon, and Darius Slayton, who hasn't shown he can be a number one. So do you go for a number one receiver? I think Slayton's a good number 2, but who's the number 1? I've debated with myself for a while, and I've convinced myself Micah Parsons has too much versatility to pass up on. He can play linebacker, or he can play edge. I just he has too much versatility for the Giants to pass up on at number 8, and if the Giants don't take him, I feel like he'd slide down a long way down the board, because I know kind of where the Broncos, Cowboys, actually he'd probably get picked at number 9, but I think Parsons goes at number 8. I think he just way too versatile for the Giants to pass up on there. And now who do the Panthers take? They got Dante Jackson at corner, but not much else. They have Eli Apple, if he's still on the team. They do need O-tackle help. Moten might be going in free agency. They think they have Greg Little on the other side. They need interior O-line. But I'm going to drop it. I think the Panthers, if I'm the Panthers at least, I don't think Teddy Bridgewater's your guy. You have a lot of pieces on offense. You need a quarterback that can get them the ball. And with McCaffrey, with Robbie Anderson, with Curtis Samuel, with DJ Moore, I think Trey Lance to the Panthers would be a match made in heaven. I really do. You still have Bridgewater on a contract for 3 years, so you can sit him behind Lance for a year if you feel that need be. I love Trey Lance personally. I think he's a great player. And I'd kind of be excited to see him with that many weapons in Carolina. That's kind of where I want to play him. Obviously, there's teams that need a quarterback more than the Panthers. They have Bridgewater. But I think he's the best fit for the Panthers. With that many weapons, you can throw him into the fire, and he'll be able to do his job at a very high level. I think this is pretty self-explanatory. Caleb Farley is going to go to the Broncos. A.J. Boye might not come back. Bryce Callahan's a nickel corner. And I forgot their other corner that hasn't played much this year, and I can't think of his name. Why can't I think of his name? I just know that they need corner. I feel like Caleb Farley is a fit there. And the Broncos get a good player at number 10 that could have gone earlier, honestly. Now, here for the Cowboys, I love Eric Stokes, but I don't think they reached down the board this far. I think you got to go Gregory Rousseau here. Get someone opposite of DeMarcus Lawrence. Get a pure beast. I'm surprised he's there at 11, but I think they can't pass up on Rousseau if he does fall to 11 and they have the number 11 pick. That just makes so much sense to me. They have Randy Gregory, Aldon Smith, or aging, hasn't really produced or exceeded expectations, and you have DeMarcus Lawrence. You need someone opposite DeMarcus Lawrence, and I think Gregory Rousseau could be that guy for them. For the Chargers, it's going to be O-line help. You got to protect Herbert even more than you can. You need a left tackle. But the logic I have here is Rashawn Slater, even a reach in terms of the Draft Network's ranking, is so versatile. He can play any O-line position that if you feel that you can get a left tackle in round 2, you can move this guy to left guard, right tackle, center, or even left tackle, if that's the case. Whereas if you take O-lineman Wyatt Davis, who I think is better than Rashawn Slater right now at his guard position, I think Slater has more versatility and you can play him all over the place. So I'm going to take Slater because they need O-line help everywhere on that line. He can go wherever you need him to. And I feel like that's very important in a first-round pick. He can go wherever you want. And that's very valuable. And we're not going to spend much time here on the Vikings pick. They're going to go Wyatt Davis. They desperately need interior O-line help. They're playing tackles at guard, and it's just not the best thing for them. I don't even know who their left guard is. I know their right guard is Ezra Cleveland right now, I think, and he's a tackle. So I feel like that's a perfect fit for them. And then at number 14, Patriots have built their offense around tight ends for decades. They get Kyle Pitts, an insane weapon at tight end. Devin Asiasi is not the guy. You get a tight end that's a difference maker. With no quarterbacks on the board, I think like you have to go with Kyle Pitts at number 14. The Niners are a team that need interior O-line help badly. But I think at number 15, I personally like Eric Stokes more than J.C. Horn right now. I think you cannot pass on Eric Stokes with Sherman being an impending free agent. Verrett might want more money. Quan Williams is a free agent. Emmanuel Mosley's a free agent. You got to go corner here. I don't think they bring all those guys back. So Eric Stokes is a good boundary corner that the Niners need at this point. And for the Raiders, I'm going to be honest, I think you got to go Kwity Paye here if he's available at 16. I haven't liked him this year like a ton. I don't think he's a top 10 pick like some people are saying. But I think 16 is a good range for him. I think the Raiders, Cleveland Ferrell's played better recently. Max Crosby had a decent rookie year. I'm not sure how he's been playing this year. But they need just more edge rushers so those guys don't play 70 snaps a game. They can't play that many. You need guys to come in and rotate, and I think Kwity Paye is going to help that out tremendously. At 17, the Cardinals are ecstatic to get J.C. Horn. I feel like they need a corner badly. J.C. Horn fits their needs. They got Pat Pete and Byron Murphy, but they don't have... Pat Pete's getting older, and he's getting burned a lot, let's be honest. he's not the same corner he once was. I'm going to be honest, I feel like I've let Jamar Chase fall way too far, but I just feel like the Panthers didn't need receivers, the Broncos don't really need receivers, the Cowboys definitely don't need receivers, the Chargers, they could actually use a receiver, but I think O-line is way more important to them at this point. Vikings needed O-line. Patriots have had success around the tight end, that's why I went with him there. Niners don't really need a receiver, Raiders don't really need a receiver, and Cardinals don't really need a receiver. So I'm going to take Jamar Chase. The Colts are ecstatic that he's fallen to 18. I feel like that's not going to happen in real life. Someone's going to either trade up for Jamar Chase before 18, or he's going to get taken by a team like the Lions, and then Jalen Waddle falls, or Chase, then Waddle here, Surtain falls, Farley falls, etc. It's a snowball effect. This is how I have it going. I don't think Jamar Chase is going to fall to 18, but I think the Colts are very happy if he does. I think the football team also needs a playmaker opposite of McLaurin, but I don't know if Devontae Smith or Sam Cosmi is the play here. They have no left tackle at all, really. And I think I'm going to go Sam Cosmi. I think he's just... You got to protect whoever you draft later. There's no quarterback working right now, or available right now at number 19 for the football team. So you got to protect him in the future. So instead of taking the quarterback first, then O-line, you're taking O-line, and then next draft maybe you get a quarterback. I don't know. Or later in the second or third round you take a quarterback. There's options. I just feel like Sam Cosmi's the play right now. I think the Bears are going to lose Allen Robinson free agency. You go Devontae Smith. You get a playmaker for your future quarterback, whether that is Trubisky, who's played well as of late, or whether it's a quarterback they draft in the second round or next year even. I think you got to get a playmaker for him, and Devontae Smith at number 20 is great value. Whereas I'm going to have the Jaguars taking Pat Freiermuth. He's not going to fall to the second round like I mentioned earlier in the video. They're going to give Trevor Lawrence a tight end option. They have Cam Robinson and Jawan Taylor at the tackles, with Linder and Norwell and A.J. Khan on the O-line. So their O-line isn't the worst. They haven't really had a tight end. Pat Freiermuth is an athletic specimen that is going to be great for that offense and helping Trevor Lawrence out. If I'm the Browns, you can't pass on Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah at this spot. Just too much value, and he is going to go in and be their linebacker next to Mack Wilson, next to Joe Schobert. They needed a third one. He's good for that role. I said I was going to go wide receiver with the second first-round pick for the Dolphins, but the more I look at it, the more I realize that they really need interior O-line help, as well as Penei Sewell. I feel like just getting O-lineman is going to help this team out so much. We're going to take Elijah Vera-Tucker, who can play tackle if need be, but he can also play guard. And I feel like just heavily investing in the O-line for Tua is going to be so big for them. And then this pick's pretty obvious. We're going to take Rashad Bateman for the Ravens. They really need a receiver. Bateman is that guy. And then Titans just speed rolling these picks right now. Joseph Osai, Clowney, and Landry are both free agents in the upcoming future. They needed another edge to replace one of them, because I doubt they're going to be able to pay both. And that fits perfectly for them. And then Buccaneers, Azeez Ojulari, they're happy he falls to them at 26. I feel like that's a good pickup for them as well. If I'm the Jets, I think Terrence Marshall, you get your new quarterback in Zach Wilson a weapon. There's not really an O-tackle that I think fits the Jets personally right now. I feel like you got to take a wide receiver for your new quarterback, and Terrence Marshall is that guy. Bengals did it with Burrow and Higgins, and it worked out kind of well for them. So let's do something like that for the Jets. Steelers need a tackle with Alejandro Villanueva potentially being a free agent. If he isn't a free agent, they still need a right tackle. Jalen Mayfield has to be the clear-cut pick there, and he's going to help out that team. And then Sean Payton's going to love Zaven Collins' versatility. Really, really, really need someone of his versatility in their linebacking core. They've been poor at linebackers for years. They get a linebacker they can hopefully rely on in Zaven Collins. And then the Bills, match made in heaven, Sean Wade. They need a nickel corner. He's only a nickel corner. He's not as good as an outside corner as he is a nickel corner. Fits perfectly there. Then the Packers. Amon-Ra St. Brown. They like their bigger receivers. He's not too big. He's 6'1". They drafted his brother, I want to say. I think he's his brother. But Amon-Ra St. Brown is a perfect fit for the Packers. Get Rodgers some help. Stop ignoring his wide receiver needs. And then I think, I'm going to be honest, I think the Chiefs love speed receivers. Kadarius Toney, Rondale Moore would be fits there. But they really need interior O-line. And do I want to go guard or center? They have, why can't I think of his name? Okay, I just checked. I thought they still had, I don't know why I thought they still had Mitch Morse, but clearly they didn't. The pick that we are going to give them is Creed Humphrey. He can play along the interior O-line. They need it pretty much at all three positions. So that's going to be the draft. Scroll through it slowly in case you want to see the recap of it. I'm not going to say all of them because it's going to destroy my voice more than it already is. I just talked a lot. Spelled out a lot of words in that time frame. But that is the draft. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching that. I had fun doing it. If you want to see more in the future, let me know. And peace.